Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 366. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is the simple success formula that all entrepreneurs can use today to make money. The simple success formula that all entrepreneurs can use today to make money. Now, many times as entrepreneurs, we tend to make things too difficult. We write 300-page business plans. We have paralysis by analysis, and many prospective entrepreneurs never even take action to move forward. On today's show, I'm going to talk about a simple formula that can help any entrepreneur make money. Now, before we get to today's show, I just want to share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family, and please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and my resource links, such as the link to my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. Also, two platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black economy, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com. And also, my new rebranded, rebooted Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy. You can go to BEBacademy.com. You can enroll and get 5 days free access to all of my online materials, trainings, workshops, and webinars. Also, for first-time listeners, the show drops every Monday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So make sure you subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get ready for today's show. Once again, the simple success formula that all entrepreneurs can use today to make money. So today I'm going to break this formula down and give you the tools that you need to actually execute this concept/formula. Now, let me set the table first before we really dive in. So being a serial entrepreneur for over 20 plus years and being a coach and consultant, I hear questions all the time. And one of the most important questions that I get is, should I follow my passion or should I solve a problem? Okay, so when people are thinking about starting businesses, these are some of the things that they think about. So just to give you a heads up, I actually think a combination of the two is the best way to go. So if you're passionate about something or a business and you can find a problem within that and you can solve something that you're passionate in, then I think that's really what I call in your genius. And your genius is the intersection of your passion and your talent. The problem is most people don't know how to monetize that genius. So if you're interested in learning how to follow your passion, then make sure you check out episode number 199 titled Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. And that will actually give you steps to actually monetize your genius. Now, the book is actually on the way out. So I've been writing this book for about a year and a half, but check out episode 199. Today, we're going to talk about a formula that's problem, solution, result equals success. Problem, solution, result equals success. So we're not talking about passion. And remember now, I'm going to give you a simple success formula that all entrepreneurs can use today to make money. So to me, guys, the simplest way to make money is to be able to solve a problem. Hands down, that's the simplest way to make money. Solve somebody's problem. They don't care what color you are, how tall you are, what you weigh, where you're from. If you can solve somebody's problem, they're going to pay you for it. And so we're going to dive deep into today what we need to actually help people formulate or create this formula: problem, solution, result equals success. So if you listen to the podcast for any period of time, I always talk about problem, solution, and result. Now, that all equals to success, but there's certain things that have to be in order for you to be successful. So, number one, find the problem. Your product or service is the solution. And what does the result mean to the customer in detail? So find the problem. Whatever you're selling, your product or solution or service is the solution. And what does the result mean to the customer in detail? So what are the benefits? And I'm going to give you some examples as we move forward. Now, just using this formula doesn't guarantee, guys, that you're going to be successful, but it definitely increases your probability. So there are a couple other things that you need to consider, such as these. So let me repeat that. And I want you guys to really pay attention. Just because you solve a problem doesn't mean that your business is going to be successful, because there are other factors involved that will either make you or break you, or make your business successful or lead it to be not successful. So one of the things that you have to consider is proof of concept. And I always talk about proof of concept. So you want to test your concept before you go all in. All right. I told the story. I have a good buddy of mine. He's like my brother. He wanted to partner up with me years ago to create this shaving brand, this razor blade brand. And so he was like, yeah, man, if we buy 5,000 boxes of razor blades, we can get it at a low price, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, dude, I said, that's not the objective right now. I said, the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the product will sell. Okay, we want to make sure it'll sell. So we were going to private label it, create our own brand. And so he was like, nah, man, we're not going to be as profitable. I said, it's not about making profit right away. It's about testing the concept. Okay, so even if we order 100 razor blades and literally don't make any money, that's fine. Because then after we have proof of concept, we can buy in bulk and then we can make the money. I'm going fast forward, right? He probably still has about 5,000 boxes of razor blades in his garage right now because he didn't listen and test the proof of concept. So here's some of the other things you need to consider. Testing your concept, proof of concept. And guys, really, the only way that you know if something is viable is if somebody goes into their pocket and pays you money for it. Focus groups are great. You can ask family and friends. That's great. But the true test, the litmus test, if a concept is good or not, is if people will go in and actually spend their hard-earned dollars for your product or service. So I'm going to give you another real life example here. And if you've listened to the show, you may have heard me talk about this. But if you haven't, this is something you definitely want to clue in on. So years ago, I was selling a supplement. It was a nootropic, which is supposed to help your cognitive thinking and all that type of stuff. And so what I did was I went to a manufacturer. I created my own brand, and I only bought about 5 bottles for samples. I tested them out. I had a couple other people test them out, and they worked well. And so what I did was, because I wasn't sure if it was going to sell, I created a simple landing page. And on that landing page, I had an offer. There were 30 pills in each bottle. I said, you can get free bottle of this supplement. All you pay is shipping. After that, in 30 days, you're going to get auto shipped another bottle each 30 days for $29.95. And I think I was charging $6.95 for the shipping. Now, mind you, the actual bottle itself in bulk, when I bought, in larger volume, was only about $3.50 for those 30 pills. When I bought as a sample, 5 samples, it cost me about $6. But I didn't care about that because I'm trying to get proof of concept. So what I did was I got a graphic artist to actually create a mock-up of the bottle. I knew what my label was going to look like. And I talked to the manufacturer and they were like, yeah, once you have your label and you're ready to make an order, it's only going to take us about 5 days for you to have your initial order. So as opposed to going out buying 200, 300 of these bottles, slapping my label on, I wanted to test proof of concept. So I created a landing page with an offer for a free bottle of the supplements. All you pay is shipping $6.95. And then what I did was I started running traffic to that landing page. And I said to myself, if I get 15 or 20 sales, then I'm actually going to create the product and fulfill the order. If I don't get those 15 or 20 sales, say I only get 10, then I'll just refund the money. And so this way I was able to test the product, get true proof of concept without going and ordering 300 bottles of this supplement. And so what happened was I was getting a great response. I think in the first 3 or 4 days, I got like 29 orders. So I was like, yo, this is going to work. Let me go call my manufacturer. Hey, slap my label on this thing, ship them to me so I can fulfill the orders. And that was an easy way to test proof of concept. So what we're talking about today, guys, is the simple success formula that all entrepreneurs can use today to make money. And the formula is problem, solution, result equals success. But once again, there are other things you have to consider before we get into the formula. So the first thing was testing your concept. The second thing that is paramount, guys, is your profit margins. Do you have enough profit in each sale to account for the cost of the sale? So product costs, marketing and advertising, ancillary costs to deliver the product or service, like a website, email autoresponder if you have an office. So many times when I talk to my coaching students, or even if I'm just doing some consulting, one of the biggest issues is profit margins per unit. So if you're selling a scarf for $10 that costs you $3, that means literally if you have no advertising costs and you sell it at 10, it costs you $3, you'll make $7, right? So that means you have $7 to play with to get an order. Okay, so now if you're running ads and it costs you $10 to get an order, all right, plus the $3 you already paid for the product, that means you're in $13 and you're selling it for $10, so you're losing $3. So one of the biggest things, guys, is margins, profit margins. So you want to look at products that have a high perception or their cost is high, perceived high cost, but really don't cost that much to fulfill. And I'm going to give you some examples. So you must make sure basically that your pricing allows enough money for you to be able to market. So I don't care what platform you're selling on. You could be on your own platform. You can be on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, whatever. You're going to need money to drive traffic to your listing. So if you put up a listing on Amazon and didn't drive any Amazon traffic to that with Amazon pay-per-click, I guarantee you, unless you're selling a known product, if you're buying, you say you found a discount at Walmart on Morton salt, and you got it for 10 cents and now you're putting it on Amazon and selling it for $2, somebody will buy that because that's a well-known brand. But if you're creating your own brand and you don't run traffic to your Amazon sales page or your own website, I promise you're not going to sell anything unless, and I talk about this all the time, you have a big list. If you have a database that you can market to, a platform that you can market that product or service from, you're in good shape. But if it's something new that you're starting and you don't have enough margin in there to be able to drive traffic to that site, you're in trouble. Okay. So that's what you want to take into account. I want to give you a quick example, real life example too. And I've mentioned this before. One of my first breakout products in e-commerce was a flat iron, a hair flat iron, right? And so I'm not going to get into the story how I came up with that because I'm a bald-headed black dude, but I got a wife and 2 daughters. So that basically is how it came up. And what happened was I actually found a manufacturer after, testing 3 or 4 different manufacturers. I trademarked the name. I created the perception of a high-end salon-grade professional flat iron tool. The actual cost from China to my door with my branding on the actual flat iron and on the packaging was $10.78 landed. That included airfare. I was selling that for $129 on Amazon. Okay. So that was real dollars. So that's what you really want to look at. Real dollars available to market after your fees. So I actually used to net $102.06. This is after Amazon took their fees off of each flat iron that I sold. Now remember, it cost me $10.78. I was selling it for $129. So the perceived value, the way I positioned that flat iron, was a high-end professional salon grade tool. Okay, so I had margin. I had real margin. So that's what you have to look at, not the percentage that you're making, but the real dollar amount. So literally, I had like $90 to play with. And so when you're advertising or driving traffic to your Amazon listing, your own website or whatever, if I can outspend you, that means that I'm going to outsell you. So if you're selling a flat iron that you paid $10 for, but you're only selling it for $30, that means I'm not even counting with your Amazon fees. You're probably only going to net $15 or $14, where I have $90 to play with. And so when I'm doing Amazon pay-per-click and I'm bidding for words, I used to bid $10 per click for these keywords. Ceramic flat iron, professional flat iron, hair flat iron. I could bid $10 a click, not a sale, a click. And then if somebody else, the other guy selling it for $30, he couldn't bid $10 for that keyword. So when you go into Amazon and you type in your search, you're searching for keywords. So if anybody put in ceramic flat iron, professional flat iron, those type of keywords, mine would always come up to the top because I was bidding $10. And the reason I was able to do that is because I had so much margin. So it doesn't matter what percentage. So if you bought something for $5 and you're selling it for $10, yeah, that's 100% that you're making if you make that off of that cost. But it only gives you $5 real cash or real dollars available to market. And that's really not a lot unless you have your own platform or you currently or already have a database. So before we get into this formula, problem, solution, result equals success, these are the things that you have to look at. Testing your concept, which is your proof of concept, and also profit margins for your product or service, because you will need to have money, real dollars, not percentages, to be able to drive traffic to your site, to your landing page, to your Amazon listing, your Etsy listing, eBay listing, whatever. You're going to have money for marketing. All right, so that's, if you don't learn anything else today, family, make sure that your margins are that or such that you have money to do that. Now, let's talk about the actual formula itself. And today we're talking about the simple success formula that all entrepreneurs can use today to make money. The first thing in the formula is the problem. Remember, it's problem, solution, result equals success. The problem. All right, so you want to identify, guys, a real problem, not a perceived problem. All right, so a real problem. Now, the more dire the problem is, the more money that you can charge to solve it. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. So say you owe the IRS some money and they're about to garnish your wages, right? That's a problem. All right. Now, say you broke a tooth, it's killing you and it needs fixing. That's a problem. Man, I was at, this is right before COVID started. I was at a restaurant. I bit down on something hard, chipped my tooth, killing me. Man, the next stop I made, I'm calling around all these dentists to go, yo, I need this thing fixed. So remember, you want to identify a real problem, and the more dire the problem, the more you can charge for it. I don't care what that dentist would have charged me at that time, because that was a problem. All right. Now, then you have to really look at, guys, what is the problem really costing that prospective customer? And you need to break it down to its bare essence. So in terms of the IRS, say you owe the IRS money, like in that first example, break down what that means. And the reason you want to break down what that means is because these are the reasons why this prospective customer needs your services. So let's look at it. So example, if I don't pay to settle these delinquent taxes, you may have your paychecks garnished and your bank account can be frozen, right? So what does that really mean to the customer? It means they're not going to have any money to pay their other bills, which could lead to additional financial distress. Your bank accounts get locked up. Your paycheck is getting garnished. Now, by law, the IRS can't garnish your full paycheck. I forgot what percentage it is, but they can jam you up. So any money's coming into your bank, if they feel that they need to lock that thing up, you're done. So these are the actual real things that's just the bare essence of what's going to happen. So you need to tap into that. And the way I do that a lot of times is I keep asking the question, what does that mean? Okay. Oh, I'm not going to pay my taxes. Okay. What does that mean? Oh, I may get garnished and they may, levy my bank account or close my bank account. Okay. What does that mean to you? What do you mean? What does it mean? Well, I won't have any money. What does that mean? I'm probably going to be in financial distress. What does that mean? My wife is going to be pissed off. What does that mean? And you can keep asking, what does that mean? And you're drilling down. And what you're really drilling for are the reasons why they need to do business with you. And you're going to use that basically on the marketing side when you start talking about the solution and the results. So once again, the bigger the problem, the more money that you can charge, right? So let's take a look at another example. Say you got bad credit and you want to buy a car, okay? So it's funny, being in the mortgage business years ago with my own brokerage shop, I don't know how many people waited till they tried to get a mortgage to get their credit fixed. So once again, most times when people go to get their credit repaired, there's a reason behind it. Either they're trying to purchase something or they're in the process of getting ready to do something. So normally those two biggest things are either a car or a home. Okay, so here's another example. You got bad credit and you want to purchase a car. What does this mean to the customer, right? So maybe they don't have a reliable vehicle right now to get to work. So maybe their car broke down. Also, maybe they can't take their kids out or travel. Another negative is with bad credit is your auto insurance premiums are going to be higher, meaning that it's going to cost you more money that you probably don't have. Okay. So you got to keep, what does that mean? What does the actual problem mean to you? And you break it down. Okay. What does this mean? What does this mean? And that's how you really get to the root. So you have to have the dialogue and know how to speak when you're talking sales. And this could be sales copy on a page. It could be an email. It could be a direct conversation. But you need to understand that language. And a lot of times I think what we don't do as entrepreneurs, we don't dig deep enough. What does this mean? If your credit is bad, what does this mean for you? I can't get this car. That means that I can't get to work. I can't go on vacation. I can't take my kids to school. So you got to dig down. So remember, the actual formula is problem, solution, result equals success. Now, let's move over to solution. Okay, this is the second part. The solution is actually whatever product or service that you're selling. Okay, your product or service is actually going to solve that customer's problem. So you are the solution. Okay. So here's a couple of things. This is some sales psychology, but you need to reiterate the problem. Confirm what that problem really means to them. All right. What is this problem costing them? Man, I can't buy this car. I can't buy this house now because my credit is jacked up. Man, I can't move right now. The IRS is about to lock up all my funds. So what does that really mean? What is it costing them? There's a cost for having problems. Okay, my mom used to say it costs a whole lot more when you're poor than it is when you got money because you're paying more for everything. So you're paying more for your interest rates on your car, your auto insurance. You buy a home. If you get approved, you got bad credit or not great credit, your interest rate's going to be higher. All right, so you need to reiterate the problem and confirm what that problem really means to them. What does it really cost? All right, now you need to reiterate what the problem is costing them and what are the pain points. And that's basically the same thing. What are the pain points? What is this problem not allowing you to do? How is it stymieing you? So what are the pain points? And you also want to outline the solution in detail and why they need the solution. Look, I'm a tax attorney. I work with the IRS all the time. We're going to make sure that your wages don't get garnished, and we're going to make sure that they don't lock up your bank accounts. So that way you can continue to live how you normally live, and we'll work out a payment arrangement with the IRS. That's an example of that first one. Hey, you got bad credit. I understand you need a car because you have to get to work. I understand your credit is jacked up right now. We're going to do everything we can to help alleviate that. And we're going to outline everything we're going to do. And we're going to detail why you need to do this. So now after you finish working with us, you'll be able to get a new car at a low interest rate, which is basically going to help you save money. Okay, so those are the things. That's the solution. Your product or service is the solution. And you need to reiterate the problem, confirm the problem, what it really means, and what that problem is truly costing them. Now we're going to get to the result. Remember, problem, solution, result equals success. Result. Now explain the relief that the solution provides. All right, so let's give the example of the car, right? So now once we get your credit cleaned up, you'll be able to buy that car and get a lower interest rate that's going to reduce your payment from $600, which you would have paid, down to $400 a month. Now, what does that mean? Now, thereby allowing you to reallocate those resources that you would have spent on your car payment. And now you can take that extra $200, Jay, and you can put it to additional bills, or you can use it as savings. So the result, explain the relief that the solution provides. What is the relief? And it's digging deeper. It's not just superficial. Okay. So next, what you want to do from a sales psychology point is you want to validate and confirm that they made the right decisions. Man, Jay, that was a great decision. I know that your wife is going to be happy. Your credit is going to be better. You're going to pay less for your car. You can get a nicer car, and you got extra money now because your credit is better and you've taken the steps to do this, so you can allocate those funds somewhere else. Maybe you want to put that $200 in a vacation fund. Put that up each month, and then in a year, whatever, you guys go on a nice vacation. So you want to validate they made the right decision and help alleviate the buyer's remorse or the fear that they made a bad decision. So this, guys, what I call is the simple formula for success. And anybody can implement this formula to help them make money today. Problem, solution, result equals success. Problem, identify the problem and go deep. What does the problem mean? What does it really mean to you? Which is, it means that what? And keep going deep. Because remember, what you're doing is you're really uncovering what the benefit, not the benefits, but what really is the issue. Yeah, the IRS is going to garnish my wages, but what does that really mean? That means I'm going to be broke. I'm not going to be able to access any of my money. My bank accounts are going to be closed. I'm going to get in worse financial situation, and I'm going to be jammed up. What does that mean? So that's a question you always want to ask, not necessarily to the customer, and sometimes you can, but ask yourself, well, what does that mean to you if your bank accounts get locked up or you get garnished, wages get garnished? Trust me, and now you're digging deep. So that's the problem. The solution is whatever your product and or service is. And once again, the bigger the problem, the more that you can charge. Okay, so that IRS thing, look, guess what? Yo, I need to handle that. So I don't care what it costs. I need to make sure that gets taken care of. All right. So you want to understand the dynamic between how big or how dire the problem is versus what you can charge. So that's the problem. The solution is your product and or service. Just make sure whatever product or service that you're selling, that you can truly provide that solution for that customer. It's all about expectations. If you don't know or think you can do it, then I wouldn't necessarily sell the product or the service. Okay. And the last component is the result. You explain the relief that the situation provides. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And now you'll be, instead of being at point A, you'll be here at point B. This is what the relief that the solution provides. Problem, solution, result equals success. Now, before we hit to the last quarter of today's show, I just want to share all my social media contact information and my resource links, such as a link to my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. So if you're interested in building a successful, sustainable e-commerce business, go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy, print version $14.95, digital version $9.95. Now, if you need additional assistance and you're very interested in e-commerce, my flagship course is out, Brand Builder Academy Elite, BBAelite.com. It's a 15-week implementation program that takes you from the ideation of your product and or service all the way to selling on your platform and other appropriate platforms. So it's from A to Z, guys. And if you go to BBAelite.com, put in the coupon code BBAElite100, you'll save $100 off the program. Also, I mentioned at the top of the show 2 platforms I created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide black economy. The first one is BeSmartByBlack.com. So if you're a black product producer that wants to sell your products to black consumers worldwide, upload your product information to BeSmartByBlack.com. It is free. You got nothing to lose. Upload your information. Now, I didn't forget about you freelancers. If you do anything on Fiverr.com or Freelancer.com, go to HireBlackFreelancers.com, HIRE, BlackFreelancers.com. Upload your information. It is also free. And you can connect with black consumers and black business owners that want to work with black freelancers. So HireBlackFreelancers.com. Also, guys, I mentioned at the top of the show, my new rebranded, rebooted Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy. You can go to BEBacademy.com. And behind the academy, you can get 5 days free access and take any of my courses, trainings, webinars, workshops, or master classes. And then after those 5 days, if you don't want to continue, all you have to do is cancel. But everything is there except Brand Builder Academy Elite, which is my standalone flagship e-commerce program. But I have all types of things from beginning entrepreneurs all the way to seasoned entrepreneurs in terms of marketing, finance, e-commerce. Anything that you can think of is behind the BEB Academy. Now, I know I said a mouthful, but everything I just talked about and what I'm about to talk about can be found at BEBconnect.com. That's BEBconnect.com, which is a page on my website that lists everything along with the links. So you can go to BEBconnect.com. Now, for social media, to connect with me, anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, connect with me and link up with me on Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. You can find me there. Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts. The main one is jjones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. And also I have Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. I have another IG account there. YouTube, make sure you guys link up with me on YouTube. I have additional content on YouTube that does not come out on the show. Yes, the show drops every Monday morning on YouTube, just like on all the other platforms, but I have additional content, and it's really going to get hyped up right now. I'm doing a new series of videos that are going to be up pretty much probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks of some mini interviews and some other things on the YouTube channel that's really there basically to increase the presence and get out more resources to all the BEB family members. Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse, guys, get at me at I am J Jones, at I am J Jones, and LinkedIn. connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search for J Jones Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Now, as I said, guys, everything I just said, you can go to bebconnect.com, which takes you to a page on the website, and you'll be able to click any of those links and connect with me or the resources there. Man, I'm going to be so glad when this new website is done, which will be at the beginning of September. It's going to be a major resource for all black entrepreneurs. So you'll be able to go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com or shortcut it to bebconnect.com, and it's going to take you on a personalized tour and direct you to the resources and links that you need, not just generic stuff. If you're interested in marketing, it'll take you there, answer a few questions. Bam, here are the resources for marketing. E-commerce, same thing. So I want the new blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com website to be the go-to resource for all things black entrepreneur, and we're working on that. So we're looking to have that done by the end of August, coming out in early September. So pretty much, guys, let me just recap and reiterate, guys. People always talk about solving a problem or following their passion. I'm cool with both of them, but if you can meld the two together, and that's what I call your genius, is the intersection of your passion and your talent. The monetization is where people really get jacked up. So if you want to figure out what your genius is and monetize it, make sure after you listen to this, go back to episode 199, pinpoint and monetize your genius. I'm going to have that link in the show notes. Also, guys, there's a lot of content in today's episode, and all you have to do is go to BEB Connect. There you can sign up for the newsletter that comes out every Monday morning and every Thursday morning. And the show notes are attached to the Monday morning's episode. So everything I talked about now, if you were riding in the car, you're running on the treadmill, you're jogging, lifting weights or whatever, you didn't have time to jot anything down, just go to the website, BEB Connect, sign up for the newsletter, and the show notes for every episode are going to be there, so you don't have to worry about writing them down or whatever. So today, guys, we talked about the simple success formula that all entrepreneurs can use today to make money. So this is something you can implement today. Problem, solution, result equals success. The easiest and most direct way to make money. People don't care who you are, where you're from, what color you are, what's your education level. It doesn't matter. If you can solve their problem, then you have a great chance of making money. It's all about the communication. Do you communicate with them the way they respond? And so if you're selling a high price product and you got a raggedy website, that's not aligned. Okay, so you have to make sure everything is aligned and you're basically solving that problem. You're speaking directly to that person. So once again, if I know if my service is I deal with the IRS, if you have tax liens or delinquent taxes, I know the language to speak to you because this is what I do. I know everything that you're concerned about. I would probably know the questions you're going to ask me before you ask me the questions because that's what a professional does. So I just need to speak to that in my marketing and in my presentation. Problem, solution, result equals success. One of the biggest takeaways I want to remind you guys is you got to have the money to drive the traffic unless you have a platform. Unless you have a platform. And I talk about this all the time, but the first time listeners on here, building a platform is paramount. Having social media presence is great, but you should be having that social media presence to build your database of emails. Nobody controls your emails but you. People get shut down from Instagram, Twitter, Facebook all the time. TikTok all the time. You don't control that platform. The only thing you can control is email. You can't get shut down from that. So having a big social media following, that's just gravy on top. Use that following to communicate, but also use that following to build your database and gather emails. Because when you're not in control, I know people that literally have lost their business, their incomes, their revenues overnight because they got shut down from Twitter or Instagram or something like that. And a lot of times, guys, it doesn't even have to be your fault. Before we close on out, family, I say this each and every week. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog. We're trying to get this good word out here, and it's all about building an economic power base in the worldwide black economy. And the best way to do that, family, is to build and support black-owned business. There's no revolution without economics. Economics rules the world. I don't care what you're trying to do. If you got money behind it, it's going to make it that much easier. Please continue to spread the word, guys. And I couldn't do it without you guys. We get more and more downloads each and every week, and that's attributed to you, the BEB family. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.